the dowsing arc allows us to choose the appropriate item or issue very quickly without any mental activity. We don't even need to focus on the arc with our eyes, so we can do it completely anonymously and blind. So we don't necessarily we don't fool ourselves that this is what we think we need, so therefore the pendulum will go to that. Does that, you holding up your hand to the question? You're just activating your fingers. So briefly speaking, the pendulum is used as a straight pointer. So basically what we're doing is we're setting a pendulum to swing as a line. And what we're asking is, by holding the pendulum over the arc, what do we need from this arc? Of course, the first thing you'd ask was, is there something on this arc that is applicable? Because otherwise you'll be wasting time and getting very confused. So first thing, is it on this arc? Yes, no. If it's yes, then you hold the pendulum in a neutral swing, and it doesn't have to be a crystal pendulum, it could be any pendulum. We're just using it as a pointer, it's not being a healing tool. In the centre of the arc, and we allow it to move in a straight line, angling itself until it settles one place, and that is what is required. And then sometimes, either because of the angle that you're looking at the arc, or because of the nature of the spacing in the arc, we need to verify, is it this or is it this next door to it, because it's sometimes a bit ambiguous. Okay, so I'll demonstrate that to you, because it's important that we get it right, because we know that some people are habitually stuck in doing yes, no, yes, no's. Even with arcs, they do it as a list rather than as using the arc as a quick way of doing it. Particularly in Japan, we've got that problem with some people that, why do it that way when you've got something that will do it 20 times faster? Okay, so where do you want me? Is it all right on the floor?
Yeah, on the floor.
On here?
Yeah, on there.
So if you can all come round so you can see as much as possible what the pendulum is doing. Okay, so let us say, for example, that we have a suspicion that Brian's subtle bodies may require work. Surprise, surprise. Hiya, you made it then. It's alright, we just started, so don't worry. And it's all on film, apparently. So, is this subtle body stone placement technique appropriate for Brian? Yes. Okay. So which subtle bodies are needing balancing? So we put the pendulum in a straight line neutral swing over the centre of the arc, and we don't need to focus our eyes, we just need to let go of the focus. So we're not actually reading what the segments are saying, and it swings in a straight line to mental body. So we double confirm that's the one. Yeah. Is there anything else we need at the moment? No. So that's it. So rather than sort of going down lists or saying, oh, is it this, is this, is this, is this, the arcs work really well. So basically, in the way we work, arcs are one of the primary tools, because we just flick through folders of arcs, one after the other, and it doesn't involve effort, and it's actually less tiring than watching a pendulum going yes, no, all the time. So it's a really excellent way of working. Because it's in an arc rather than a circle, because if you're doing a straight line, you're indicating both ends of that swing. So it's clearer to be a semicircle than a circle. You're making up arcs for yourself, And it's a good idea to have have you got you've got blank cards, so if you photocopy that a million times, you can use it for whatever you like. And a good scheme is to keep them in subject areas, but randomise the actual segments, so that it's not alphabetical and it's not logical, so that you don't have that sort of thing in your mind that's saying, oh, it's going that way, it's going to be subtle bodies and chakras, or this technique or that technique. It keeps it completely neutral. And this way, really, you can keep your intellect or awareness on the level which is most useful for the healing work, without getting tied up with things that don't need to be thought about. Okay. So that's the scenario there. Now, if we carry on with this example, mental body, in this system, you'll see on the table on page 81 that the mental body is balanced or activated or accessed by the left stones placed on the left side, left hemisphere of the brain. So anywhere on the left hemisphere of the brain, anywhere in that area is okay. So some places are that's probably the most general placement, others tend to be more precise. So then you have to find out which stone or stones are going to balance for that particular body, for that person. And here at the moment we've just got a list. And so that list itself would also be limited to what you've got in your collection. And let's go for a very obvious, simple ones. Aquamarine.
So the pendulum's in neutral
and then
as you're going through the list, and then when you say the word and it's the right one, it goes into your yes. So say as you're going, is it Amazonite? Yes, no. Is it so-and-so? Yes, no. Just put it in neutral.
I mean,
and
if
then
you, because this text is quite small, it's not all that good to point, but you could do it by pointing and just follow, or if it was a list, you could do it by going down the list with the pendulum in neutral and then waiting for it to go to yes, and then double checking. Okay, so we've got one stone which is aquamarine. Is there another stone? And because there's quite a big area that can be used, is it more than one aquamarine? No, so it's just one aquamarine. Okay, so we'll leave that example for the moment and go back to looking at where the other subtle bodies are linked into the physical body. So with the etheric body, there is no precise exact placement. So you have to dowse for where on or around or close to the body are those stones going to be placed. Okay, so it might be on the body, it might be off the body.
In fact, that's your first question.
On the body, off the body is your biggest category. Then it's upper half, lower half, and then it's the subdivisions of that. Midline, left, right. You probably get an idea. It'll be sort of, oh, maybe it's here, maybe it's there. And so your intuition will tend to inform how you ask the questions after that. It's not as tedious as it sounds talking about, it's quite a big question. Then once you found the location, find the stone or stones that will balance that. Place the stones and check how much longer they need to be in place. Emotional body accesses via the stomach area. Okay, so approximate, doesn't matter exact, but basically under the ribs, in the gurgly bit. Okay, and the list of stones, there's quite a lot of stones there. Mental body, as we said, is left hemisphere of the brain. Remember that when somebody's lying down, their left is not necessarily the same as what you think your left is, so make sure that you're not doing their right instead of their left. So if you get really confused, have a couch with a L and a R on the head ends. And actually this is the same when you're doing your diagrams in your notes. It's a good idea to put left and right on the correct side of the body, because otherwise you'll be making things, you'll be mirroring, or you will if you're anything like me, which is probably not very likely. Astral body is via the kidneys. Okay. So basically, where your elbow creaks, yeah, that level. And when somebody's lying on a couch, you just tuck the stones a little under the body, so it doesn't have to be pushed well in. It just has to be resting somewhere close to. Okay. So it's easy to find. Just the level of the elbows in onto the back. Because you've got two kidneys, you've got potential of two placements there. So it may be both, it may be just one. And again, it may be more than one stone. So of the list of stones, of the stones that you have, check which ones. The causal body is the base of the skull, medulla oblongata. So if somebody's lying on a couch, then you just tuck the stone under the couch, between the couch and the skull, under the back of the neck. Okay. There's no specified stones, so you just got to douse, warm, cool, and then go from there. The soul body accessed via the pineal gland. So the best place is really just the centre of the forehead, centre area of the forehead, and it's only a citrine quartz. So if that body needs balancing, then there's no choice. It's just a citrine quartz. And with the spiritual body links in this particular system to the pituitary gland, and that's really deep in the centre of the brain. So it doesn't really matter how you access. You can either put stones by the ears or on top of the head. That's probably your best bet. So, or maybe the forehead. It depends if you've got anything else going on. But just double check. It's basically going to be somewhere around the head area. And there's a small range of stones there. Generally speaking, you tend to get mostly the etheric, emotional, mental and astral being balanced. And usually it's only one or two at any one session. So if you run through that with somebody else rather than Brian, because he's got the camera and it might be a bit awkward to do that simultaneously. So, Michelle. Sorry, this is the Japanese way of saying,
Oh, really?
yeah, because that means something else completely. Same in Turkey. So it looks like they're telling you to go away, when it's actually come here. Another thing about the Japanese as well, we point to our heart when we say ourselves, and they point to their noses. So.
Sorry, is citrine quartz the same as citrine?
Yes.
Two names for the same thing.
Yeah. It's just the yellow gold variety of quartz. Yeah. Yes.
Can I ask as well, so the manual sorry, you've got all of the specific lens. Are you just avoiding those because they're really too...
Yes, yeah, but that doesn't forbid you from laying around.
Yes, please.
So if you can come and see. Probably this one. Yeah. So first of all, what do we do? And we double check it's appropriate. So when you're practicing and also when you're working with real clients, it's quite a good idea to do your questioning out loud, except if you think it's going to be compromising in some way. Just because just sitting there with something flicking around with no words going on, it can be a bit, what are you doing, what are you doing? scenario. So if you just say what you're doing, that, and also in these practice sessions, it helps to for the others to know that you're doing the right thing and saying the right thing, and it gets you into the habit of working quickly with economic words. Okay, so it's okay to be to work with subtle body placement with. I forgot the name. For Christ's sake, Michelle. Then you start working it.
Don't say you're sticking me to the floor. Your energy has been so grounded. I'm like.
So we know it's appropriate. So we're just holding the pendulum over the arc with the intention that it indicates which is required, and it's gone straight to causal body. Okay. So we double check that if we like. So this one, yeah. Is there anything else? No. So just causal. If there is nothing else, if there's just one thing, then even then at the end check whether there's anything else, because when you clear one level of stuff, sometimes other stuff comes up that's able to be cleared. So causal body is
Back of the neck.
yeah, and the stone is
Yeah.
okay. So warm stone, cool, green, blue, indigo, violet, violet-ish. So when it's an ish, then you can think of, well, it's maybe this colour plus something else colour. So like with a violet-ish, my eyes went to charoite, so that's a mixture of different shades of white, purple and black, so that's fine. Double check that's okay. Yep. And just slip it under the... Right, stay where you are. Stay where you are. Check it's okay where it is. Yeah. Okay. And now how long?
How much longer?
How much longer? More than a minute? More than 2 minutes? More than a minute and a half? About a minute and a half? A minute and a half?
So you'll usually find that these will take a little bit longer than the meridian corrections that we did yesterday, because they're not quite so, they're a little bit more generalised. So they usually take a little bit longer for the body to process.
There'll be two ways of doing it. Probably the best way to work with this is to do one body at a time. So if you've got more than one, then just work on the first one. Take stones away, double check. Because it's going like the other way around.
You say which is the priority. Yeah, the key word is priority.
You find that it works both ways. You do one thing, and if you do it in the right sequence, then you can clear a whole backlog of stuff that otherwise wouldn't be cleared. And then sometimes again, if you do one thing, then you can have other things come up that are required to support or balance that process.
Client is complaining she is stuck to the floor.
Flame gravity.
Flames the backgrounding.
I don't love I felt like I was made out of Play-Doh and someone had splattered me on the floor.
So I was just checking whether it was complete, and again, pendulum in neutral, and goes to yes. Complete. So okay, still. Find it. Double check that's okay. And see if there's anything else that is needed.
So you can either do a yes, no, or
So we've got another one. Of course, another one. So the astral body now needs some work. Okay. So astral is Achilles, and the list of likely or applicable stones or stones that we have. Anything else? So jasper. Hopefully we have some jasper.
Some red in there. And there's yellow jasper behind you.
Yellow jasper.
Yeah.
Maybe natural.
Yeah, some tan jasper behind you. Do you need that? Or is it
Did
not
I say
red?
jasper?
So you said
There's
jasper.
green jasper in the book, I think.
It says, does it say green jasper in the book?
Yeah, it says green.
No, that's all right. My brain was
Somewhere else.
interpreting it as something completely different.
Don't look at it one side.
That's all right.
Mess me up.
Can you have a look for the green jasper? I'll just double check. So do we need two pieces, one on each side? No, we just need one piece. Yeah, okay. Left side, right side. So one piece on the right side is fine. Yeah, that was close enough. So left, right.
Oh, what are you doing? Can end up a pile of water in a minute.
Just tucked under the side there. And again, how much longer do we need that stone in place? More than a minute? No, more than half. About a minute. Oof.
It's quite busy.
If you find it comes up with something that you haven't got and that's not down here, then basically just go to something that's of the same family or the same colour and just say, is this okay? And it probably will be okay, but it's going to take longer. Yeah.
Yep, that's done. Yep. Okay. Anything else? No. Good. So that's that process. Okay. So you all followed the sequence and the process. Yeah. The main thing is to not get stressed about the stones that you don't have on the list. Just focus on the ones that you do have or that you've got available to you. Okay. Get up when you can.
Easier said than done.
Yeah. Blimey.
You just stay there for a bit. So again, like a lot of other techniques that are very specific, you might not feel like much is going on for the client at the time. Sometimes. But be aware that they still need quite a lot of time to come back to being vertical. So just get them to sit up and not prevent them from leaping off the couch, if you can.
Could I just ask as well, your sweep at the end,
Yeah.
would you tend to do that after each technique?
No,
or
you
only
do
at the end of the
do it
session?
end
at
of
the
the
end of the
session.
session.
You don't have to do the that's is.
You can do that if you like. Okay. Good. Thanks.